It's your boy Highlight in the building tomorrow and tonight. I'm the church on God love. I'm the truth. So if you fear the truth, you don't want to hear the truth, or you don't like being near the truth, then around me ain't the place to be. You hear me? Mean. There's a message in the air. If you clumsy, I need you to catch it. If you got butterfingers, I need you to hold on to it for the rest of your life. Because in this moment, your life is about to be changed. In this moment, I ask that your spirit and mind be froze and know that death is cold. I want to search your soul and take hold of whatever holds you hold and expose the pain you hide. There's a message in the air. It's called hope. Embrace this vibe. Hope. We're going to begin it by saying this. Sometimes we face frustration, anger, rage, devastation. It all happens on the basis of anxiety that builds from anticipation. See, for some time now, my heart, my mind has been waiting patience, especially when bad things happen. When bad things happen, I always ask myself the question, like, why did this happen, or what's the explanation? Let me not fail to mention that by definition, hope means to desire with anticipation, confidence, and or expectation. Hope is the word, a word that can be lost or gained. See, the way to measure a person's self-drive or to see how much they believe in God is to see how much hope they have after they embrace pain. But people, as servants, you have been chosen to put God's plan in motion, meaning speak faith and possibility. That is your purpose. But, you know, some say, Lord, it's hard to stay focused when I'm trying to keep coming up hopeless. That's a mental restraint. See, hope is what it took for a rose to grow from a concrete surface. Hope is to believe what others don't believe. Hope is what it takes for us to achieve. Hope is a feeling that's concealed in the hearts of the humble. Hope is after seeing the dark for 20 years, you finally see some light at the end of the tunnel. Hope is what it took for the football team to win the game after being down by 3 touchdowns and then one of their players fumble. Hope. A man is on the verge of killing himself by hanging himself. His life flies before his eyes, and then he untied a rope. Wait. Now let's take a short commercial break to address the distinguishments between hope and faith. Now, faith is to believe in something you can't see, and after this message is over, the definition of hope will be self-explanatory. Now, they have different meanings, but they do have a commonality that in order to have faith and hope within yourself, you must believe. Now, the message that I want you to see in this place is simple when it states, I hope you have faith. Hope. When a medical patient is on the verge of death, the patient dies and come back to life because the doctor won't stop defibrillating the body until the patient takes a breath. Hope is the message within the saying, impossible is nothing. Hope. That's what it takes to walk the righteous path. Hope is what your haters don't want you to have. Hope is faith before it becomes mature. How do you feel when being the son or daughter of a bad father? You think he gonna show up, but you never get no knock at the door. Hope is something that's concealed within us all, but it's usually tainted by the enemy. See, hope in the form of an acronym is heart open to positive energy. Hope is what drove out the spirit of the one who survived cancer. How do you have hope? Jesus is the answer. Hope. Picture yourself running your last race. You get tired, ready to quit, but you think about the feelings you get after you lose, and you take a look at your teammate's face. Hope. That's anticipation of greater people. I want y'all to hear me. Hopeless situations are made to help you and me see God clearly, boy and girl. In order to have hope in life, you must be able to focus on what's not in this world. The doctor say your grandmother gonna die. You say no disrespect, but doctor, that's a lie. Hope. Imagine being a parent of a 2-year-old child. They got kidnapped. Police put out K9, FBI, SWAT team, and helicopters. Hours pass. Now afterwards you call the cops and you ask, have you found my child? They say, no sir, ma'am, but we would notify you if we hear anything. So you hung up the phone, you start crying, and you lose hope. But guess what? The phone starts to ring. You ain't want to answer because you ain't want to hear no bad news, but so the cops left a message on the answer machine. You picked up your phone, you played the voicemail, and when you play it, the police officer said they found your kid's body in a dumpster. When you heard dumpster, you unplugged your phone because the sadness of the circumstances left you in a state of mind where you wanted to be alone. Now, this might not be something you've been through, but be froze because the story continues. The parent assumed that her child was dead, which hindered her from hearing the rest of the things that the police officer said on the voicemail. See, what the police was trying to say, that they did find your kid's body in a dumpster, but guess what? Help was on the way, and when they got to the scene, the kid wasn't alive. But after the paramedics appeared, the kid survived. Now, the kidnapping occurred during the winter time. So after being thrown in the dumpster for hours, the kid was basically froze. He was cold. He been in the dumpster for hours. Cold temperature slows down the blood flow. The kid had icicles coming out his nose. Can you see the severity? The doctor said the only reason the kid survived because a part of his body was still warm. The only part that was warm was his head and his arms. They said while he was in the dumpster, the warmth came because a part of his body was wrapped up in the coat. In this situation, life and death were determined by a coat. But death would have never been considered if the parent would have had